It was supposed to be just another night on the London stop of the tour. Fans packed the O2 Arena. Lights flashing, the crowd buzzing with anticipation. Kendrick Lamar and SZA were both on the lineup, and everyone expected a solid show. But no one was prepared for what actually went down. Because halfway through the set, something happened that left the entire audience gasping, screaming, and grabbing their phones. It wasn't just a surprise. It was a full-blown cultural moment. We're talking never-before-seen chemistry. An unreleased track that had security panicking and a jaw-dropping. It's a filled moment on stage that had fans asking, are they more than just collaborators? And trust us, the tea doesn't stop there. Rumors are flying, emotions are high, and even members of Kendrick's team were seen arguing backstage after the performance. Some say it was a planned publicity stunt gone too far. Others believe it was a spontaneous eruption of years of built-up tension, creative energy, and maybe something a little more personal. So what really happened between Kendrick Lamar and SZA in London? Why was the crowd left in shock? And why did one anonymous crew member say that wasn't a performance? That was a confession. Buckle up, because this is the story everyone's talking about. And we're diving all the way in. It all started backstage hours before SZA and Kendrick Lamar were set to hit the stage at the O2 Arena in London. Tension was in the air, producers whispering, stagehands rushing, and an atmosphere thicker than a storm cloud. Fans had been building anticipation for months, tracking every rehearsal hint, every snippet. But nobody saw what was coming next. As the lights dimmed and the crowd went wild, Kendrick kicked off his set with electric energy. The spotlights followed. His words slicing through the air. But then, halfway through his third verse, everything changed. The beat dropped, and to everyone's shock, SZA stepped onto the stage behind him. She didn't just join him, she crept in silence, eyes brimming with emotion. The crowd held its breath. SZA started singing an unreleased hookah, haunting, raw melody that spoke of heartbreak and secrets, and her voice. It cut through the room like a knife. Kendrick paused, mid-verse, eyes locked on her. You could feel the electricity ripple through the audience. Fans are shocked, mouths hanging open, phones raised, capturing every moment. Some say the next part was unscripted. Kendrick stopped the music. The crew's jaws dropped. SZA, it's this song. It's ours now, he whispered. Her eyes glistened. Did everybody just gasp? Emotions ran high. Voices in the crowd started chanting their names together. It felt like confessions were being made under the arena lights. The family was left divided. Kendrick's manager looked pale. SZA's team whispered urgently into earpieces. Something big was unfolding. After that moment, the show descended into controlled chaos. Two performances collided, Kendrick's powerful bars and SZA's vulnerable cries. There were heated arguments backstage, where sources say Kendrick's longtime producer confronted Chase's stylist, accusing them of leaking the surprise. Someone snapped, "This isn't just a performance, it's their truth." The audience was transfixed, hanging on every note. Fans screamed lines back at them, as if possessed. The vibes were electric. Hushed rumors spread that this track was originally meant to stay private, maybe a demo, personal to Kendrick or SZA. Yet, here it was, blasted in front of thousands. As the final chords faded, the stage went dark. SZA and Kendrick held hands, bowed, then parted ways. The crowd erupted in applause. But underneath, something felt unsettled. Backstage cameras captured whispers. "We didn't plan that." There were tears in Che's eyes, tension in Kendrick's jaw. Was this unity, or a spark that would burn everything down? From that moment, the narrative exploded across social media. Trend graphs spiked. London moment became the top trend worldwide. Fans debated furiously. Was this a work of art or something more? Did they cross a line from performance to revelation? Either way, nobody was turning away. And just when. We thought the night couldn't get more dramatic. Part 2 dives even deeper. Backstage revelations, fan reactions, uproar, leaked voice clips. And a shocking accusation that threatens to tear their partnership apart. As soon as Kendrick and SZA walked off that London stage, the energy shifted. A wall of silence fell over the backstage area, the kind that feels like something is about to break. Kendrick headed straight into his dressing room, slamming the door behind him. SZA was rushed away by her team, but not before she glanced back, eyes glassy, jaw clenched. Something had been said on that stage. Something raw, something real. And it wasn't scripted. Within minutes, phones started ringing. Labels, publicists, damage control teams scrambling to make sense of what just happened, but they weren't fast enough. Videos of the unreleased track now being called Confession. In London by fans were already everywhere. On Instagram, people were dissecting every lyric. On TikTok, users claimed the performance was a coded message. One viral post said, "This ain't just music. This is heartbreak, betrayal, and maybe even revenge." And then came the leaks. An anonymous Twitter account created just 1 hour after the show ended posted a short audio clip. It was grainy, like it had been recorded through a wall, but the voices were unmistakable. Kendrick, furious. SZA, holding back tears. "I told you not here," he growled. "Ah, you said you were ready," she whispered. Then silence. Then a door slamming. The clip spread like wildfire. Fans were stunned. Was this a breakup? Were they ever even together? And if so, how long had they been hiding it? Emotions ran high. Some fans felt betrayed. Others were even more obsessed. One commenter wrote, "If they've been in love this whole time and we never knew." This is like Beyoncé and Jay-Z's elevator moment, but live on stage. Another added, "They didn't just perform, they exposed a whole relationship, and maybe its end." Meanwhile, Kendrick's camp tried to push a different narrative. A spokesperson claimed the performance was an artistic collaboration with no deeper personal meaning. But fans weren't buying it, especially not after what happened next. A source close to SZA, who allegedly works as part of her glam team, anonymously spoke to a gossip blog and dropped the bombshell. This wasn't just a song, they said. This was their story. They've been seeing each other off and on for nearly 2 years. They'd kept it secret to protect their art, but things fell apart recently. SZA wasn't supposed to sing that song. It was a last-minute decision. She needed to get it off her chest. The internet exploded. Timelines were flooded with theories. Reddit threads dug up old interviews, moments when Kendrick and SZA had been seen side by side but never confirmed anything. One old clip from an award show red carpet resurfaced, where a reporter asked SZA about Kendrick and she smiled, then said, "Some things are too sacred to explain." Fans were now wondering, was that a clue? But if you thought the drama ended there, think again. 2 nights after the London show, a private after-party was held in Soho. Kendrick didn't show up, but SZA did not alone. Photos leaked of her entering the venue with a mysterious man rumored to be a producer she once collaborated with. Fans zoomed in, speculated, and instantly labeled it the rebound. Twitter lit up. SZA pulling a savage move. Is she trying to make Kendrick jealous? But the real twist came when someone who attended the after-party leaked a new audio recording this time. From inside the venue, in it, SZA is heard saying, "I gave him everything. He told me we'd release it together, then he backed out. So I brought it to the stage myself." That single line shattered the internet now. This wasn't just about performance. This was betrayal, a secret collaboration, personal promise, and a public breaking point. On Kendrick's side, things were eerily quiet. But one of his longtime collaborators posted a cryptic tweet. "Never mix art with emotions. You'll ruin both." Fans assumed it was directed at SZA. Others defended her, calling her brave. The fan base was split right down the middle. Team Kendrick. Team SZA.SZA, for her part, kept posting photos of sunsets, song lyrics, and one particularly emotional story where she simply wrote, "Sometimes the mic is the only one who listens." But just as everyone began to settle into the chaos, another layer of drama unfolded. Kendrick's wife, normally private and completely out of the spotlight, was spotted leaving a hotel in London alone, visibly upset. Paparazzi tried to ask questions, but she stayed silent. Later that night, she deleted her Instagram. Speculation hit the ceiling. Had she known? Had Kendrick's past bled into his present in a way that was now undeniable? Sources say she confronted him after the show, a heated argument, voices raised. And then silence. Insiders claim that this performance wasn't just a confession to fans, it was a confession to everyone, including the people closest to them. So where does that leave us? Two of the most powerful voices in music, standing in the middle of a storm they created. Fans divided, teams clashing, emotions unraveling, live on the world stage. And just when you thought the curtain had fallen on the drama, a new teaser appeared on HA's Instagram story. A black screen. Her voice barely audible, singing what sounded like a continuation of the same haunting melody from London. Just 6 seconds. Enough to send chills. And at the bottom, one caption: "Unfinished business." As the world held its breath, wondering what SZA meant by unfinished business, the internet was already digging. Fans began decoding every lyric from the surprise performance, trying to stitch together a timeline of what really went down between her and Kendrick. One Reddit user claimed they found an unreleased snippet in an old SoundCloud archive matching the same chords used during the London song. The title, "Truth Between Two." That's when it happened. Early the next morning, a mysterious drop appeared on a private music forum. Someone using the name Ted Exposed posted what they claimed was a leaked studio session between Kendrick and SZA. And unlike the blurry recordings from before, this was clear, high quality, raw. In the clip, you hear Kendrick laying down a verse, but he's interrupted by Aisha's voice dense, emotional. "You said this was our story," she says. "I didn't sign up to be hidden." Kendrick responds, calm but sharp. "This ain't about hiding you. It's about protecting the work. People don't need to know everything." Fans were stunned. The emotion was real. The chemistry undeniable. And most importantly, this wasn't a performance. This was a moment behind closed doors. Never meant to be heard. And then it got even messier. A major music blog reposted the leak. And within an hour, Top Dog Entertainment issued a legal takedown notice. But the damage was done. Thousands had already downloaded the clip. Fans began piecing together an entire narrative. Kendrick and SZA had created a deeply personal project, something emotional, vulnerable. But when the time came to release it, Kendrick pulled back. And SZA, she cracked under the weight of staying silent. Emotions ran even higher when a well-known journalist tweeted, "Industry sources confirm Kendrick blocked joint release of emotional concept album with SZA. Fallout began months ago." It was official. Their rift was real, and the London performance wasn't just music. It was a last stand. But then, someone unexpected entered the story. Childish Gambino, the multi-talented actor, rapper, and mutual collaborator of both artists, took to Instagram Live with a drink in hand, looking tired, frustrated, and ready to speak. "Yo," he began, "I don't usually do this, but I was in the room for some of this, okay? And y'all twisting everything." Kay continued, "Kendrick and SZA made something beautiful. It was real, too real. But timing, business, all that stuff got in the way. Now they both hurting, and y'all turning it into war." His words sparked a new wave. Fans suddenly started seeing the heartbreak in both sides. One wrote, "They didn't betray each other. They were both betrayed." By the industry, the pressure, the fear. Meanwhile, Kendrick finally broke his silence. On a surprise appearance at a small listening party in Paris, he addressed the London moment. "What you saw that night, that was truth," he said, eyes down. "I ain't got all the answers. I'm just a man with a mic. But sometimes the mic tells on you." People in the room said he looked conflicted, proud of the performance, haunted by the fallout. He didn't mention SZA by name, but his tone said everything. And SZA. She fired back with a tweet just hours later. "I'm not mad at truth. Mad at silence." The tweet racked up over 1 million likes in 24 hours. Fans began begging them to reconcile, to finish what they started, to release the album they clearly had created together. Petitions popped up. Influencers spoke out. Even Billboard ran a headline, "The most emotional album we've never heard." But as fans pushed for healing, the storm backstage got worse. A former bodyguard who claimed to have worked security for both artists during their European leg spoke anonymously to a podcast, and what he revealed left fans reeling. They were close, he said, like real close, late nights in the studio. No one else allowed in. They'd argue, then laugh, then record. There was history between them, deep history. And then he dropped the real bomb, that London performance, he said. SZA didn't warn anyone, not even her team. Kendrick was blindsided. Fans were stunned. Up until now, people thought the drama came from mutual fallout. But if SZA had truly hijacked that moment, made it into a public confession without warning, was she the one crossing the line? Some began questioning her motives. Did she weaponize their past? One tweet read, others defended her fiercely. Nah, she did what women always do, turn pain into power. Another said sides were being chosen again. Interviews were being canceled. One source claimed Kendrick was considering dropping a diss track, not a traditional one, but something cryptic, poetic like he did with Control. Tension was building towards something huge, and just when it felt like the story couldn't possibly get more intense, one final twist landed. A photo leaked, taken inside a studio in Los Angeles just 1 week before the London show. It showed Kendrick, SZA, and an unknown third person. The caption, "Truth is dangerous." It was scribbled on a whiteboard in the background. Nobody knew what it meant. But theories erupted. Was there a third collaborator involved in the project? Someone who pushed SZA to go public? Or was that photo the beginning of a new chapter? Something even deeper, even more secretive, that none of us were ready for. As the dust settled, both Kendrick and SZA went silent. No posts, no shows. Interviews, only whispers, rumors, and a growing hunger from fans to know. Would they ever reunite? Would the project ever be released? And was that song in London the last time we'd see magic from two of the most mysterious forces in modern music? After weeks of silence and swirling rumors, the music world was on edge. Fans were desperate for answers, hoping Kendrick and SZA would finally break their silence and clarify the chaos that had engulfed them. What started as a mesmerizing surprise in London had turned into a roller coaster of emotions, betrayals, and public heartbreak. But no one expected what was about to unfold next. It began with a secret summit. Reports emerged that Kendrick and SZA had agreed to meet privately in a discreet studio somewhere in Los Angeles. No cameras, no leaks, just the two of them, their teams, and what insiders called unfinished business. According to one source close to the situation, there was a lot on the table: grudges, apologies, and maybe even